Hey there, welcome back to the next video in orientation. Today I wanted to basically give you kind of a deep dive on the mentality that you're probably going to need in this period of time while you get to know the business, you grow as a person, you grow financially, and also get to know a little bit about me and the mentality of how I run this team and essentially as a culture what we do at EverGuard to maintain high standards and high production. So first thing that I want to get into here is essentially how it is that I go about training the team. Now, personally, I come from a sports background, and so I used to treat the team a lot like a sports team, right? And so what I would do is I would assume that whoever's the lowest person on the totem, right? Whoever was the lowest performer in general was now the standard of the team, right? And that's most of the time how you're going to treat a sports team, right? Everybody moves as a unit, everybody moves together. And I recently had a call. When I say recently, I've had a lot of calls with a guy named John Wetmore, who is an integrity partner, basically one of the owners of FFL, and owns a $200 million agency, right? And so you can probably imagine, knows what he's doing. And so he mentioned to me that he thought that the way I was going about it was wrong. And of course, someone that owns a $200 million agency, you listen, right? And so what his explanation to me is that because I was treating it like a sports team, what I was end up doing is I would plant all these seeds, right? So I'd plant a bunch of seeds in the ground, and then I would start watering them, right? Pouring into them as far as knowledge, help, advice, coaching, whatever. And then let's say half the seeds would sprout up right away. They get real tall and big fast. And then the other half would not sprout at all, right? They would be duds. They wouldn't produce. They wouldn't learn. They wouldn't grow. They wouldn't chase me. I didn't see the fire in their eyes, whatever it is, right? And so because of that, essentially what I would do as a leader is I would spend all of my time just continuing watering and watering the ones that didn't sprout. And the problem with that, and that he showed me, is that what's happening is that the ones that are sprouting are actually withering away, right? They're not continually getting watered, and therefore they never actually have a chance to grow into their own oak tree and drop their own seeds and start to build teams under them, right? You're not watering them enough to be developing enough for them to become leaders on their own. And he's like, and really what it comes down to is it's just ego, right? You're saying, if I can get these ones who are very stubborn and won't sprout, and I can get those ones to sprout, then I must be a good leader. And that means it's me, right? I can make them sprout. And he was right. I had a ton of turnover, right? I had agents that would sprout up, kill it, and then they would leave as soon as they had some sort of ego about it, right? And this cycle kept coming up and up and up and up. And so the way that he taught me how to just teach this and how to go about, leading the team now, so I want to let you know my mentality and my philosophy around this, is to treat the team, it sounds terrible, treat the team like dogs, okay? And I was like, okay, wait, hold on a second, John, like, you're going to have to explain this to me because that sounds pretty rude. And he said, no, I'm not, that's not what I mean. He's like, I'm going to explain here, but essentially I want you to treat each agent like you're playing fetch with a dog. Okay. And he said, essentially, whenever you come onto the team, and now this is, I have the same philosophy that he has here. You give them 2 requirements to be on the team. Okay. There's only 2. And that is, do what you say you're going to do. Be someone who does what they say they're going to do. And then on top of that, another thing is be coachable, okay? So if you can be coachable and you can do what you say you're going to do, you will be successful in this business. And essentially, though, what he was trying to get at is that when it comes down to the sprouting and the weeds or me watering them, what was happening was that I was personally throwing out a bunch of balls, right? So if a dog, let's say the dog is the agent, I'm the owner. That's, again, weird analogy, but just for analogy's sake. And I'm throwing a tennis ball, right? I'm like, hey, okay, so John, go ahead and go get that tennis ball, right? Which would be, hey, John, go ahead and go memorize the script real quick, right? And then once you memorize the script, come back and let me know when you're done, right? And what I was doing instead was I was throwing out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 balls, and I was saying, hey, go grab all those balls and bring it back to me. And the problem with that is that because they had to go get all 10 balls, they would pick up a few of them really easily, and then a few of them not so easily, and a few of them they wouldn't pick up at all. And so I, as a leader, I was constantly chasing the agent. I was constantly chasing the dog to say, hey, where's this one? Hey, where's this one? Did you get to this one? Did you get this? Did you get that? And what I realized very quickly is that it made it incredibly hard for me to determine which problem is this. Is a skill problem? Is this an effort problem, right? Or is this a communication problem, on my end? Is it not clear instructions? And so I couldn't figure that out, right? And so because of that, what was happening is that I was now being felt by most people as overbearing, micromanaging, right? Or I was getting frustrated with them and it was rubbing the relationship wrong. And so essentially what he wants me to do, and what I do now, is basically take each ball and throw it one at a time, right? So I'm going to give you one task. You're going to go ahead and accomplish it, and you're going to bring it back. Same way now that this AI is function, which is you watch one video at a time, take notes, book a call, right? And so the idea behind the tennis balls, though, is so that if I throw the ball, right, and before you jump on the team, I already know you said you're coachable and you said that you do what you say you're going to do. And so the first ball I might throw is say, hey, go memorize the script. And that one might be over the fence. You're like, okay, yeah, I can jump over the fence. I can go get that. And then the second ball, I'm like, cool, you got that. Okay, next one, throw it in the pool. I want you to memorize the tonality of the script, right? I'm just picking something random, not going to ask you to do that, but throw the tonality. And you're like, memorize tonality? That's pretty hard. I don't know how I'm going to do that, right? And so at that point, if you don't know how to do that, I would assume, just like a dog would, that you would bark, right? You would communicate that the instructions are not clear. I can't find the ball. I can't get to it, whatever it is. I can't bring it back to you for this reason, Zach, right? And that communication, of course, helps me understand either if it's a skill deficiency on your end that I need to train you on, or if it's a communication issue on my end that I didn't give you clear instructions, right? So that's the idea there. And then the last one is maybe I throw the ball in the pool, right? And I'm like, hey, you're going to have to actually start spending money on leads now, right? You're no longer going to be just on free leads all the time. You have to actually put your money where your mouth is and start investing and building your own business. And it's like, whoa, I don't know about that, Zach. It's like, wait a second. I thought you said you were coachable, right? I thought you said that, you would do what you say you're going to do. And at the end of the day, this is running your own business here. I'm not going to be the one to fund your business for the rest of your life. And so, as you can imagine, with some people there, that's when, not in that specific moment, but it's one moment or another, they're usually not necessarily quitting, but they're just, I can't do that, Zach, right? I know I said I could do it, but I can't do it, right? At one moment or another, someone hits a wall and they can't do it. And when I say can't, I mean they won't, right? Because they just won't do it. And I think that that's where overall you have to kind of remind yourself that for the people that are on the team that bring me back ball after ball after ball, right? Or communicate until they can bring back the ball. Those are the people that I then throw bones. Okay. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, so-and-so gets special leads and so-and-so is, getting this and, special treatment, extra coaching and all this. Yup. Yup. Exactly. 100%. 100%. They get thrown bones, right? Because at the end of the day, they have brought me back ball after ball after ball after ball. And so for the ones that are like, well, why am I not getting anything special? What was the last ball that you brought me and how fast did you bring it back? And I'm going to give you a little cheat code, by the way, real quick, just in life. If you want to earn someone's respect in this business, my respect in general, whatever, you want to earn someone's respect, do what you say you're going to do. Do it before you said you would have it done, or I should say this, tell the person when you're going to have it done by. So call your shots, call when you're going to have your shot done by, right? When is it going to be completed? And then bonus points, if you complete the task before when you said you were going to do it, you're going to gain everyone's respect around you because no one does that. And so if you want bones thrown to you quickly and you want your life to become easier and you want the season of life to get easier, start bringing back balls and bring them back quickly. And maybe before you go get the ball, tell me when you're going to bring it back and then bring it back sooner. And I promise you, if I see that over and over and over again, I will pour money, time, energy into you because you're going to eventually be my oak tree, right? You're going to be my starting five. You're going to be one of those people that is going to help me build a business. But if I have to dragging and kicking and screaming, I have to get you through each and everything, just know eventually I'm not going to fire you. You're just going to be on an island, right? Don't expect help. Don't expect training. Don't expect investment. Don't expect any of that stuff, because my business is determined on the partners in which I bring in. And if you're a bad partner, because let's just be real, like I'm not, like I'm doing coaching, training, production, systems, innovation, connections, relationships. I mean, I'm just not a bad partner. And so at the end of the day, if you're going to be a bad partner because you're just not going to do what you say you're going to do, then we don't have any place to work together, right? And so I just want to make sure that that's very clear, that it's not necessarily going to be something where Zach blows up on you, or, Zach's like freaking out or any of that stuff. Like, that's not going to happen. What is going to happen is you're just going to notice a lack of attention. You're going to notice that I'm going to reschedule our meetings more. You're going to notice that I might not get back to you very quickly. And honestly, that's okay, because if you want to build your own business, you're going to have to delineate and delegate and also prioritize your own time as well. And so I'm just not making you a priority, and that's okay. You know how, by watching this video, to make yourself a priority in my books. Because at the end of the day, skill, I will just say this: we have multiple producers on the team that will be Hall of Fame producers, right? Multiple people at FFL that are going to be doing at least 400K plus a year. And if all of those people are going to be Hall of Fame producers, and then they're individual people, there's one common denominator, and that's me. So if I'm training them, I'm coaching them, and I'm making sure that they get to that spot, then my ability or my confidence to get people to Hall of Fame production is not limited. If anything, I think I can pretty much get almost every single person to that. Now, obviously, again, back to that watering the seed thing, is it worth my time to do that, right? But my point is that I am going to celebrate effort every time. And so if you think that just by being highly skilled and being production, you're going to get it, yes, you are going to get a lot of praise and help, and you'll get investment and you'll get all that stuff. But I promise you, for the ones that are not producing, but I see them, especially because, I mean, here's the thing, like, you get the strength to wield the sword. If you can't do it while it's hard, don't expect to do it while it's easy, because you're going to get complacent. And so overall, like, I time and again will celebrate the people that are putting in the work. They're hitting the dials, they're doing the talk time, they're staying late, they're coming in early, they're the gym rats. And those are the people that are going to help me build my business, and specifically build the culture on the team. So just want to make sure that I make it very clear on how it is that I run my team, and essentially what is my mindset on leadership. Okay. Now, with that being said, I want to focus now on the mindset and leadership that you should have as an agent to hopefully get more favor, to get respect, to get, investment, to get help in any, fit or fashion, right? So